Welcome back to the Bourbon Note, everybody. I'm Ben. I got a wild rye on the bar tonight. Let's get into it. So on the bar tonight, I've got, bam, this is a Dark Arts Blunt Blend. And this is a sample from, I don't know. I think I maybe know who this is from, but I got my samples all mixed up and I can usually tell just by the labeling who this is from, or who my samples are from. But yeah, I got this all mixed up and I don't want to take a guess at it because I don't want to get it wrong. So please forgive me.
I don't forgive you. I said I'm sorry. Yeah, and I do not forgive you.
But whoever sent this to me, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Dark Arts is a brand that's kind of gaining a lot of popularity recently. At least it kind of seems like it does. They just showed up in Minnesota within the last year here. And from what I can tell, they're kind of known for doing some like wild finishes with their whiskeys. And this happens to be a 114.8 proof cask strength banger, 95% rye, 5% malted barley, aged 8 years, coming from MGP. From what I understand, this is batch 2 of the Blunt Blend. And that comes from something like the Dank series or something. You can kind of see a theme here. And the first batch I read was MGP. I couldn't find that information on the second batch here. But so anyway, this is a cask strength rye that's finished in Armagnac and Madeira casks. Madeira, however you say that. Which is interesting because this retails for $100. Woodford Reserve has a Madeira cask finished bourbon. Retails for $200 in that fancy bottle of theirs. I've complained about that in other episodes. That's the only reason I bring that up. I saw an opportunity, I had to take it. Let's get into the nose here. On the nose, this thing is really, really interesting. I'm getting the rye spice, but it's very, very well balanced with a nice bright red fruit. But there's also kind of like some nice baking spices underneath that. This just really, really has a nice balance of interesting flavors that I don't recall another whiskey that I could really compare this to, at least on the nose. It's dark and rich. It has dark flavors. Like it's got the rye spice. It's got a bit of brown sugar under there. There's definitely a nice oak presence to it. Really, really nice oak spice, which is probably adding that layer of kind of dark flavors or dark aromas underneath that nice bright red fruit. Let's get into the palate. I'm excited about this one. Cheers. This thing has got flavor for days. Wow, that's really, really interesting. That is unlike any MGP that I've had. I've had a lot of finished MGPs, but there is something really, really different about this. In a good way, this is excellent. I'm loving this. It's interesting, it has a lot of the same qualities as the nose on the palate, but I feel like at least on that first sip, the kind of bright red fruit kind of took a back seat to that really, really nice rye spice, really, really nice barrel spice. That again, the oak is very present on this. There's almost a bit of like a little bit of spearmint kind of through there. You know how you ever had like, and I think that balances with the fruit. Have you ever had like one of those flavors of gum that's like a raspberry mint or like a watermelon mint and it's like fruity and minty? I'm almost getting a little bit of that. I mean, again, the fruit is a little more tame on the palate than it is on the nose, but it is there and it kind of balances nicely with that light mint note. But I would say that the oak and the rye spice and a little bit of those darker notes, there's a bit of that brown sugar, like I said, are a little more dominant, and it's just very, very well balanced, at least off of that first sip. Let's get into the second one, pick this apart a bit more. Man, that is so good. That's just... I feel like off of that second sip, that red fruit is turning into a darker red fruit, like almost like a black cherry or something. And this thing has got a heat to it where it's not like ethanol burn, it's just like a building like warmth, like a heat. that kind of surrounds all these flavors, and it complements that light mint note that I'm getting. It's just really interesting. And this is one of those ones, this is the only product from Dark Arts I've had, and so far, just based on this, super impressed. Definitely going to be exploring more of their stuff for sure. They do run a little bit on the expensive side with some of these finished ones. Like I said, this one retails for about $100. But honestly, I'm not mad at the price for this at all. This is one of those ones, I talked a while ago in a video about, companies sourcing whiskey and not really doing anything with it. And, I'm not against sourcing at all, but, sometimes it's like, okay, this is sourced from, whatever distillery. And they don't do anything different with it. So it's like, okay, well, why would I buy this from you rather than just going and buying another brand that sourced the same thing? Anyway, I say that because this is one of those ones that they're actually doing something really, really cool with it. Really, really interesting. And I've had ryes from MGP before. I think I've even had a 95.5 rye from MGP before. And I got to tell you, I don't know that I've had a whiskey like this. This is just really, really interesting. This one takes you for a ride for sure. And the flavors are so bold and aggressive. I mean, this thing, at the 14.8 proof, you get the nice burn and you get the nice bite that at least I like out of a cask strength whiskey. But the flavors on this thing are just turned up to 11. So yeah, I may go buy a bottle of this. Or at least go out and buy, shop around for their products and see what else they have that might be interesting. Because again, so far, I'm sold on Dark Arts just based on this one. Let's get into some more of this. Cheers. So the more I'm drinking this is turning out to be one of those roller coaster whiskeys. It's like every time I go back to it, it's like the same flavors are there, but they're just EQ'd a little different. It's like they just kind of like, I feel like over the course of if you were to sit with the pour of this for a while and just really kind of slowly enjoy it and kind of break it down and really put some thought into it, it seems like it's one of those ones that'll take you for a roller coaster where, every couple of sips, a new flavor is going to show up and kind of take center stage. And that's kind of what I'm having here. It's like all the flavors are there, but I'll have one sip and that little bit of mint will show up. And the next sip, it's, the rye spice is a little more up front, and then that dark fruit and that really, really nice oak spice. And so this is one of those ones that you pour yourself a 2-ounce pour of it and just sit for as long as it takes, just enjoy it and pick it apart, and it'll kind of take you for a ride. And so, those whiskeys are always good to have on the shelf because that's one of those ones, that it's nice to, it's a Friday night, you've got nothing going on, and just sit and relax and enjoy a really, really nice whiskey. This is perfect for that. So, do you guys remember, I think there was a He-Man guy back in the 80s that had like a rotating head. It was called like Many Faces or Manny Faces or something. I think. Maybe I'm totally making this up. But it's like he had different faces, hence the name, and then you just twisted the head, and then he had this face, then you turn it around, and there's another face. That's kind of what this whiskey is doing. It's just like it's the same whiskey, but it's got a different personality every time you go back to it. And I think it's fantastic. So whoever sent me this sample, thank you very, very much. This has definitely encouraged me to go check out some Dark Arts bottles. I will definitely be doing that now that they're available in Minnesota. This has been Dark Arts Blunt Blend Batch 2 on the Bourbon Note. I'm Ben. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you on the next one.